Oh shit, here we go again.
Low, low, man. Low, low, man.
You like contracts, right? You're a contract guy.
I read contracts instead of conventional pornography, yes.
You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yet you're coping and seething. The truth it is scalding, and now you are molding and coping so hard. Coping and seething.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Andrew Esquire's Legal Mindset, where we teach you to be your own judge. Welcome to everybody. As you come in today, please like the video as you step in here. Make sure you still subscribe. Notification bell is on. Retweet everything on Twitter. Get that word out there. Good to see that. See that everybody's here checking in, right? People say, is this the usual intro? Yeah, well, I mix it up a little bit. There's a certain je ne sais quoi. How I feel I want to do the intro. You know, there's some things that are usually there, some elements that are usually there, but I mix it up, and it depends on my topic, right? Today is the coping and seething is going to be coming from a lot of these managers. After I have to say here today, I guarantee there's going to be people that are not happy with some of the stuff I'm saying today. So that's why I'm saying it, right? Because I'm the guy who's got to come in here and say it like the lawyer uncle, the asshole lawyer uncle that you never had, that had to tell you the real objective truth. That's what you're going to get here on the Legal Mindset. That's what we're going to talk about today. So everybody strap in for that. And real quick, though, I want to say thank you, everybody who's here. I appreciate everybody being on time. And also, I want to say a little thank you over here on Locals. We already have a message, which was a $1 tip from Repton. Says, my hat is off to you, sir. Today, you are not late and needy. You know what? I'm going to allow it. I'm gonna allow that, even though it's a little bit of
Emotional damage.
Even though it's a little bit of it for me, comparing me to Niji Sanji, I'm gonna allow that. We're gonna let it happen. We're gonna let it happen here today. And good to see everybody who's a member rolling in here today. I already have a comment or two that I starred for use later. But hopefully everybody who's here is doing well. Also want to give a shout out. I know that the hurricane is a coming for the U.S., or rather for Florida. So let me make sure this is the latest one. I think this is the latest. So let me go here, the hurricane track NHC. So let me actually go to the NHC here. So for all those that are out there in Florida, and once again, I am a Floridian, right? So I am well aware of the cones of probability and their kind of, frankly, usefulness. If you're in the cone of probability right now, you're probably going to be out of it by tomorrow based on how these things change. But this is now a Category 5 storm that is extremely strong. It is projected to hit the west coast of Florida, of course, after nicking the Yucatan and kind of coming in there. And yeah, that's it's not looking good. It's not looking good. So definitely be safe out there if you're in Florida. Obviously, look, Floridians don't need to be told about hurricanes. I'm a Floridian. I grew up in Miami-Dade County. I went to school at the school where the National Hurricane Center is located. As a elementary school student, we had multiple presentations on hurricanes, hurricane safety, hurricane preparedness. So I grew up learning this stuff as if it was nothing, as if it was like it was just part of my life. So for me, I know a lot about hurricanes. I'm well prepared to deal with them. And most of the time when a hurricane comes, if it's really threatening, I just fly somewhere and get out of the way or move or go somewhere else. Of course, as a single guy, I can do that, right? Who didn't have any obligations to deal with. I could do that pretty easily. I know that not everybody can do that. Some people want to, stand by some of their assets and protect those. I get that, but just be safe out there. Don't be stupid. And if you are in a situation where you need to get out and get to safety, of course, right? And that's just part of prudence. But my thoughts go out to everybody there, my fellow Floridians out there. I'm not in Florida anymore, but I understand the danger, so be careful. Yes, I remember Hurricane Andrew. I lived through Hurricane Andrew. I was talking about it on Twitter when I was talking about building codes. My house actually tanked Hurricane Andrew. So, I mean, that was good. And even I believe there were a couple more category 5s that came through. Now, they weren't all direct. It was like, some of them were indirect, but still did not get destroyed, which is good. Good construction, cinder blocks, rebar, really well built. So good stuff there. But hopefully everybody is all right. Yeah, somebody said evacing now. Good. Glad you're getting to safety. Appreciate that. And appreciate all you Florida men and ladies out there. Also, speaking of really based over here, Muzzy Skeleton dropping the 20 legal mindset memberships.
Not a sin. I cannot absolve you. Mega based.
Thank you. And then Doug Diaz following up with yet another 5. Yes. Thank you, Muzzy and Doug, for supporting the channel. And please, in the chat, if you receive one of these, please say thank you to Muzzy. Please say thank you to Doug Diaz. These guys are great supporters. They've supported me a lot. So please say thank you specifically to both of these guys. They are doing absolutely great work. Yeah, thank you, guys. So let's move on here. I'm kind of laughing as Pave John said, but Andrew, how am I going to get her pants if I'm not her manager?
Degenerates. You guys degenerates.
Get to that. We'll get to that comment later. JP Ravenfire for 1 Legal Mindset membership. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you, JP, for your longtime support of the channel, whether it's 1 membership, 10 or 20. I appreciate all of that. Thank you.
Hello. Beso department.
Thank you. Artemis says Danielle doesn't even get paid like managers, and she has to trudge through mines. Petition to at least give her a coffee and Red Bull fund. Actually, I have indirectly compensated Danielle. So she has she has been indirectly compensated at times. So not run. Listen, I may support the children crafting in the mines, but I am not an evil overlord. Okay, I am a very benevolent overlord. Okay. But do appreciate all the help that my mods give. Danielle, professional gentlemen, these guys work really hard. Guys and girls work really hard on the channel. They're really great, and they're here pretty consistently, one or the other. So I just want to say thank you to my mods for being there and for being awesome. And Danielle's in the chat right now. Some big love for Danielle. But Danielle, not a manager, right? Not a manager. We're going to talk about that. A mod is not a manager, right? Andrew has a manager. Chat is cocked. No, I do not have a manager. I do not. However, there was a point before I did live streams where I did have technically a manager, right? And it was a not good situation. I'll talk about that a little bit later. And part of this comes from, hey, me learning from a mistake. So I'm not going to try to pretend here that I'm high and mighty, that I'm better than everybody else. I'm just saying that, look, I made some mistakes and I learned from those mistakes and I get better as a content creator. And anybody who comes out here and pretends they know everything from the beginning is dead wrong. And even as a content creator, you learn more, you grow more, you expand more over time. That's part of the process as a content creator, whether you're a VTuber or non-VTuber. And a lot of this stuff we're going to talk about today will specifically apply to VTubers. However, I don't want you guys to get this twisted. It isn't just applicable to VTubers. This will apply to everybody, but I want to specifically look at the VTubing context because of this controversy involving some tweets, and also because there's, I think, some particular dynamics, particularly with parasocialism, that are a little bit more intense in the VTuber sphere. So yeah. And yeah, thank you guys for being nice to Danielle. Appreciate that. How many Wranglers are you wrangling? I mean, I have 1 pair of Wranglers. That's about it. Legal Mindset is the manager. Mods are assistant managers. If you want to say it that way, but I wouldn't say it that way. And we're going to talk about the definition of the manager, right? We're going to talk about the definition of that word. But before we get into that, we're going to cover Twitch. But before we cover Twitch, we of course have to start with a clip. And I thought this was a really great one. This is Mimi Tachikawa, but she's voiced by Pippa Pipkin. Let's watch this one. This is a good 2-minute clip.
What's on? Let's be honest. Did you watch in your life ever hentai? Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me, filthy woman. Did you watch porn or did you not watch porn?
There's like a proven study out there. This is serious. This is serious. There's a real study out there that says that the more Mountain Dew that you drink, the better you are at video games.
Okay, so then why are you still bad?
Oh, done.
Thank you guys for coming to today's stream. This is so yummy, though. Yummy, yummy. The police are here to get me on charges of stalking, kidnapping. What's it called when you slip somebody a roofie? He called the cops on me because he cares about me, and he was worried that maybe my mental health was suffering. But everything's fine. So he's like a Chad dragon.
Yeah, Chad.
Oh, he's not a bad dragon.
Chad Dragon.
No, why would he be bad?
This is such a troll here. Talking about bad dragons, such a troll.
I don't know. Well, Sebastian Cervezing for the 130. If your dragon is real, why do I not see it in the bad dragon catalog? Because he's not bad.
What is? What?
In the bad dragon catalog?
So evil.
What is Bad Dragon catalog?
Look it up. It's unironically, it's like a list of like every dragon that has ever appeared in media as like a villain.
Okay, hold on one sec.
Such a troll. Such a troll. No, 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 no.
What the fuck is this? Emma, you ever watch Hachima?
I watch Hatsama. I like when she
Remember-
vomits.
Oh, what? What? You like when she what? Michan? Daisabu? I want you to narrate this.
I come before you today to reveal a horrible accident to the Pony Kamcha project. This is all.
Oh no, you
It's
looked it
brown
up.
now.
Oh no.
I have also got another class of.
Oh, good stuff. Thank you for sending me that clip. That's an absolutely hilarious one. Do not Google Bad Dragon catalog, people. Even though I know you will, because you guys are
Disgusting.
Oh, cool. Oh, cool. There's a dragon catalog of Bad Edmed says, no manager. Who do the Karens complain to? No, no, not the Karens. No. Oh, that's too good. That's too good. Thank you for that. That's a good one. All right. So Twitch has some new policies. Good, we got a laugh out there because this stuff is not funny. This stuff is actually really annoying. And I have another clip, by the way, after this that we'll break it up a little bit. And the next clip I have after we cover Twitch, before we cover the managers, it's in homage to my certain mistake I made the other day. But anyways, let's talk about the Twitch policies. There's some new Twitch policies that came out. These are amazing. So this is the big one that everyone's talking about. So now officially, hips are banned from VTubers. VTubers are no longer allowed to have hips, to show hip, right? The entire policy applies to VTubers the same way it applies to other streamers. We know this is bullshit. I'm going to show you how this is bullshit, okay? Genitalia, buttocks, hips, female presented nipples, and underbust must be covered at all times on general streams. These apply to VTuber models, but not to video game characters, including those uploaded into games such as VR chat. Hip coverage is often forgotten in this rule. Please be sure that your VTuber model covers this area. So literally, we are regressing right now. I want you to understand this. Covering the hips is going back to, and I know this is an old school reference, like a really boomer reference, but this is going back to the era of 1960s censorship with a very old show, which I don't know if you guys saw this one, maybe on your grandma's television or something like that. I Dream of Jeannie. I don't know if you know this one. This is a very famous old 1960s show where they required her to cover her navel because it was too lewd. right? They were because it was too lewd. It was only in the 80s that she was able to finally reveal her navel, right? It's crazy how we're going back into this world of censorship, but for different reasons, right? Fun fact, this is a fun fact I learned today, which means I'm going to force you guys to learn something because this is educational. The first woman to show navel was, I believe this is in the 1971, was Rafaela Cara. And I'm just going to say, I am not complaining. And listen, I'm normally not a fan of short hair, but can short hair all day with this look. But this is the first exposure of navel in television, period, right? For a woman, right? So yeah, that was a big deal back then, right? But we're rolling that back. We're going back into that with Twitch, where we're saying, okay, now your hips can't lie, right? You can't be Shakira here. It's not going to happen. Mercer says, I swear this is to prevent human reproduction. They're taking away everything that can be even moderately attractive, right? They want like, okay, you can't have anything that even looks decent, right? No, you can't have it at all. Yeah, it's there. What the fuck, Twitch? VTubers are CGI. This is malicious, and we're gonna show. And actually, let me show you right now. Let me not bury the lead. This is from Grigsit, and he posted this too. So while they're putting up this policy, literally, we've got this girl live here, and I'm not. Once again, today, please, I'm going to talk about a lot of people. Please don't do anything negative to content creators. Never say anything. Don't go flame them. It's not their fault. It's the platform's fault, right? But this girl's out here doing this. Well, their policy said you're not to expose the buttock, right? Well, I'm seeing a lot of buttock here. I'm seeing a lot of hip here. What's covered? This is not the same policy, and it's not enforced the same as VTubers, right? So you're literally saying, okay, we're going to moderate VTuber hips, but we're not going to moderate literally a string bikini in the pool, right? It's completely unequal enforcement. It's absolutely unequal enforcement, and it's not fair, right? Not at all. Mercenary says, at work on can in pain. This helps me from depress.
Disgusting.
Appreciate you though. Sigrun says, you mean you've never considered using a horse phallus as a all right, we almost got me to say that as a gooning aid, Pippa Pipkin. Oh, no. In fact, I'm
No. Wait.
The things that Yabbit says. Scala says, no hippies. Hello, Kick. Sup, Rumble. Oh no. Okay, but that doesn't stop there, guys, because the policies get worse. Oh, it gets worse. Oh, it gets way worse. Here we go. You may not show, promote, or engage in content warning, right? So content enforcement clarifications, content warning, depicting fictional anime characters of childlike appearance, lollies and shotas with any kind of sexual framing is not allowed. This applies to VTubers and within games where avatars are uploaded, such as VRC chat with childlike avatars, even if the broadcaster and operator of the avatar is above the age of 18. So they're kind of coming out and saying it. This is something that was a rule behind the scenes, but they're finally like saying it out loud and saying, okay, we're putting this rule out here, period, clearly. Any humor regarding anything sexual in relation to minors will result in immediate action on your account. Stating you're below the age of 13 anywhere on Twitch, even if it's intended to be humorous, will result in your account being permanently deactivated, such as, ha ha ha, I'm 12, or I'm using my dad's account for 11. This I agree with, right? Because that's obviously breaking a clear TOS. I think, frankly, it should be prohibited for you to be under 18, but that's my personal opinion, right? But that said, these policies are out there. Right. And this is why certain models have been cracked down on, certain people have been hit, right? And why you might need to upgrade to the hag avatar. I'm just saying, the hags are winning, I guess, with that one. Hags are winning big time. Anthony says, are managers needed? No, but can they help massively? We're going to talk about that. I pretty much there's ways in which I'm going to agree and disagree, but I think for the vast majority of people, they probably need to fire their manager, even if they rehire them in some capacity. And we'll talk about what that means and what that is. This is really going to piss people off. But anyways, just want to get to Twitch first before we get into that. So thank you for that, Anthony. A little preview of the next topic. But on the Twitch side, look, the only thing that's going to change for Twitch is giving them public scrutiny and pushing them that way. I know a lot of people say, can we sue? Is this discrimination? No, they can set their TOS how they set their TOS. They can even enforce it unequally, but they should be called out for this. They should be flamed for this. They should be this should be brought to the attention that they're treating these content creators unfairly. And this is something that, once again, when we talk about the platform wars where VTubers end up the platform they end up ultimately on, I mean, I can see 5 or 10 years down the road, Twitch becoming a place where, if it even exists, right, which it probably will in some capacity, but the presence of VTubers may decrease on Twitch in the future, right? It may actually decrease because, look, there's a point at which, when Iron Mouse is the #1 content creator, that they say, okay, at what point do we start thinking about and catering to the needs of VTubers instead of discriminating against them, right? And I'm not saying they need to do anything. I'm not asking for, or I would never advocate that they do something for VTubers they don't allow for flesh tubers or, you know, regular streamers, whatever else, but at least treat them fairly and equally at a bare minimum. At a bare minimum. Guys, I'm seeing so much hag love in the chat, which, I mean, by the way, hag love.
Oh, yeah, that's what I like to see. Oh, yeah.
Lucky we're not on Twitch. We might get banned for that. Rurico says, if that's the case, then Henya is in danger. Yeah, I mean, that's why a lot of the ones that have younger looking models, right, they have to be very, very careful. That's the whole thing with Shondo and her feet. This, even though it wasn't a sexual thing, it was just like going through a portal, right? As in like Portal 2 or whatever else. You know, it wasn't necessarily sexual, but it's like anything that's even debatably, even if it's debatable, they're going to nuke you on it, period. And that's just what they've put out as their standard. Okay. I also want to point out here, there was I think hold on. Scala says hag, but been told MILF hag. Well, MILF is fine. Listen, I'm going to tell you right now. MILF?
Not a sin. I cannot absolve you. Mega based.
Y'all know I am very clear about my love for hags, and MILFs is just an extreme variant of a hag, right? It's just a variant of a hag. All right. So now that we're done hag maxing. Oh, hold on. Let me get this one. Nikki P says, with the current trajectory Twitch is on, unless they do a wholesale replacement of simps, it's going to be scrapped as it's bleeding money. Yeah, they've got to get a lot of simps in there to try to actually offset the cost they're having and everything else. Like, it's not a sustainable thing, but I think that what'll happen with Twitch is, at a minimum, somebody might buy it out just for the name recognition, for the platform, for the UI, whatever, right? Because it's got a working UI, which is more than you can say for a lot of alternative platforms. Look at Rumble, look at Kick, that are not as functional, or Odyssey, for example, Rumble or Odyssey, which are not as functional despite having been out here for years now. Their UI kind of sucks. So, or really sucks, to be honest. They don't have interoperability, cross-platform, really difficult, don't sync with a lot of softwares. So because of that, I think Twitch is in trouble. But do I think they're going to go away? No, I think someone at a minimum would buy them out for just the IP, just for the IP. Is it Amazon? Well, once again, Amazon might divest it. Who knows? Might spin it off. You know, it's always possible. Pricey says, I see Twitch body shaming VTubers now. Really? Body shaming VTubers? I think it's more than that. I think it's just discrimination. I think it's just saying, hey, look, they can do that. They can do their bikini streams. You guys can't do this. And we're just going to enforce this way. I see that as kind of the direction that's going. Let me get another chat here from Repton over here on Locals. Appreciate you guys. On Locals, thank you guys. And also, we had a member exclusive one on Locals earlier, which is really a candid conversation. If you guys ever want to check those out, I have those exclusively on Locals. Just very candid, no suit conversations. It's great. Repton for $1 says, imagine not liking Asian women. Many do look younger and they can't help it. Well, that's another thing too. They kind of forget that, you know, if I walk out here, I'm in Thailand right now, I'll be in Korea next month. Whether I'm in Thailand or Korea or Japan, I can walk on the street on any given day and find a girl that is 30 years old or 20 years old, and she looks young, right? Because she's petite. She's a very petite girl, might weigh a third of what I weigh at half the height, right? There are petite people out there. They exist. I know the US doesn't like to believe that because that's a very rare thing in most of America. It's all about plus size, but petite is a body size. It is a thing that exists, right? And in many parts of the world, it's very common. Just because it's not common in America or Canada or parts of the West doesn't mean it's not out there. Oyamada, what's up, brother? Said, what is really considered childlike? It was never defined in the TOS. If it's based on height, won't that be discriminating against the short? Yes. So, for example, and I think Kirsha has talked about this, like short stack is just another word for a petite model with big tits, right? Short stack is just a petite model with big tits or a small girl with big tits. There's no difference, right? There's no difference at all with short stack. Sorry, what is it? Was it Vosh who's into like short stack goblin girls and horses, of course, which, the horse stuff, I'm just saying.
Thank you very much for all of your lovely art as well. Some of it a little lewd. To those of you drawing me with horses, y'all are into some fucked up shit, and I hope you get the help you need. I really truly hope you get the help you need.
Stay away from the horses. Lumi, by the way, happy birthday to Rima. Speaking of horses, I stopped by her stream earlier. That was really fun. I always happen to pop into Rima's streams when she's talking about something absolutely degenerate. So like she literally was like putting her feet, like as soon as I come in, she activated her feet toggle, right? And then started talking about super degenerate hentai level tag tiers. It's always great when I stop into Rima's chat. Always great. It's always perfect timing. And Lumi said, so I'm winning on the MILF part. Hell yeah. I think it's a good niche. I'm just saying. Sigrun Eternia says Twitch will probably be fine. Twitch app is dog shit, and it only has gotten worse and people still use it. Well, once again, what's the alternative? What are you going to replace that with? Because there's a lot of apps that I know it's dog shit, but there's a lot of apps that are worse. I mean, there's apps that I use, over here in Thailand, like a local app that can be glitchy as fuck. I mean, I can upload money or send money to a certain app that I need to use. There's, for example, a laundry app at a certain hotel chain that I travel. They have like this digital app for doing your laundry. All the washers and dryers are digital, right? So you upload some credits in the form of money to this app and you pay for it. This thing was glitching like a mofo when I'm trying to get my laundry done, right? There's a lot of apps that are buggy as shit and that are even worse than Twitch. But an investor can look at that and say, hey, look, Twitch can make money. We just need to streamline it and make it more effective. Anthony says, we all need to get fit and turn our SOs into MILF and DILFs. That's right. You can always see, here's the thing. People forget this. You can always upgrade. People try to give these rankings. Oh, it's a 6, it's a 7. It's always upgradable. You can always enhance, as they say. So yes, very true. Ivan said Nightfall says, didn't you know the world is just America and it's 200 states? Yes. I know a lot of people think that, especially deranged Westerners, especially when they're posting about stuff, pretending Asia doesn't exist or the Middle East doesn't exist or Africa doesn't exist, Latin America doesn't exist. It's very difficult for some people, but yes, America is not the whole world. I know. Lenmar says, hey, Andrew, I think Henya will be safe. The gun run is a Twitch founder after all. He probably has contacts to high. I'm not saying that she's in danger necessarily, but what I'm saying is even if she needs to be more careful than perhaps other people. And yes, they speak to and they have higher connections to Twitch. Yes, that's very true. Big corporations do that. That's an advantage of a big corporation, which, by the way, we're going to talk about today when we talk about managers. There's nothing inherently wrong with being in a corporation. A lot of people think this is a bad word, a dirty word, but there's indeed nothing wrong with being in a corporation. We're going to get to that. And one of the powers is you can talk to YouTube or Twitch. You might have those connections that a indie won't have, or some manager, right? claims to have. I'm laughing here because I know these people, and I know that they don't have, many of them don't have the connections they say they have, or don't have the ability to read the analytics the way they say they can. Last Ruriko said, what about Neuro? She's an AI and not even a real human. It doesn't matter. Her model is what matters. That's what they're saying here, is that all that matters is the model and how the model looks. So if the model looks under 18, they're going to treat it as a lolly model, right? Even if the person piloting it is an AI, whatever else, they don't really care, honestly. They're just caring about, hey, is this something that looks like it might be bad? But yes, I hope Henya gets well soon and gets back to streaming. So if she wants to, of course, if she wants to. Don't like people feeling like they're mandated to be content creators and dancing around like
Fighting a monkey とかさ。
Nobody needs to do it, right? But obviously she's got a lot of love. I love her content. I love Henya's content. So I do hope she comes back soon and gets better. All right. So let's watch this little clip here, which, by the way, this was instigated. I noticed this was actually instigated by Marksman of the 117B, who's also oftentimes in my chat. I'm not sure if you're right here now, Marksman, but literally this was instigated by one of our chatters here on the Base Legal Mindset, which I'm just going to say right now that, you know, what he submitted as a super chat,
I'm not sorry, and I did nothing wrong.
This is the sock auction. The sock auction. I don't know if you guys have seen this one. It's pretty good here. Let's play this. Oh, wait, shoot. Hold on one second. There was a clip that I needed to get to on this one. Okay, here we go. Yeah. Hold on. Here we go. So this is from Marksman here. Let's play this.
Fucking sweat. The fact that this is called a soction. That's amazing.
Marksman the 117B says he donated $1.99 through a super chat. $5 to buy the. You know what? I'm gonna not say that because I'm on warning list after yesterday. But let's play this.
$5 to buy the black man.
No! What's that? That's not even $5! That's $2!
I am not for sale.
That's crazy. The fact that it's not even $5. The fact that it's not even
he donated $2 and said 5. The 30% Jewish cut.
Oh no. I'm sure they were talking about the socks, but oh boy. Interesting. Everyone said yesterday's stream was glorious. Yes, me when I'm like super tired and about to pass out. Oh, great. Okay. Let's go here with the manager controversy. So let's talk about this real quick. So, and by the way, I'll just be very clear. Once again, I'm not calling for anybody to say anything to anybody. We're going to bring up some examples. I've made some anonymous, right? I have a very zero tolerance, by the way, for doxing and for, attacking people, whatever. If I see you in the chat calling for people to be brigaded or doxed or whatever else, you're getting a ban right away. Right? You're getting a straight up ban right away. Don't even joke about that sort of stuff. Right? But obviously, this is not meant to be something about attacking this person or that person or somebody for their bad take. This is about me explaining, in my professional opinion, why a lot of people, both as a content creator and as a person who's worked in companies and works with a lot of small businesses. I also have a lot of friends that are content creators. And we talk about how we run our businesses and how we, what we delegate out, what we don't delegate out. Right? We're going to talk about that a lot today, but this is, please be respectful. Please, be thoughtful. And once again, this is not to be negative to really anybody, right? To really anybody. Okay. So here's how this thing started. Here's how this started. And hold on one second. I got one super chat here. Chaos Smashes. Hey, how are you doing after last night? I'm alive. I'm doing good. I got I don't know if you guys have ever been to Thailand and seen these. These are actually really amazing. I don't see if you can see it right here, but these little inhalers, these Thai inhalers. You ever need energy? You can just give one of these a little. It's good. Pick one up. They're available. The green one's the stronger one, but there's a little small one and almost looks like a little lipstick case. Very, very good. Very good stuff. Very good stuff. Definitely clears you up. All right. So let's go over here to the thing in question that is indeed the post that started it all. Now, a lot of people are blaming this on Shondo. This Shondo actually wasn't the one that started this. So this right here is actually the post that started it. So a lot of people, oh, what's up, Rima? Good to see you, girl. I got your quote pulled up at the end, actually, because it's one of the sane ones. Despite the fact that you are indeed
Degenerates. You guys degenerates.
Guys, horses in the chat for Rima, please. And it's her birthday, so please make sure you put ample amount of horses in the chat, or else Rima will be offended. It's her birthday. You got to give her some of those horse emojis. So please, horse emojis in the chat, specifically for Rima. Specifically for Rima. All right. So I love you guys. So good. I'm going to dox myself. Don't do it. Don't do it. Also, Ezreal for 5 Legal Mindset memberships. Thank you very much.
Hello, Peso Department.
Thank you, Ezreal. And also Leprechaun Gold dropping a $5 super sticker. Appreciate you for those shibas. I love my shibs. All right, let's get with this. So they said PSA. A lot of your indie VTuber Oshis do not check their business emails. They have managers or assistants to do it for them. Please do not send crazy love confessions or sexually explicit material to business emails. Please, God, what a miserable day to have eyes. So I know what you guys are sending, okay? I know what you guys are sending, and frankly, it's
disgusting.
Your tributes. I know. I don't think I don't know. Your boy Legal Mindset knows the depth of which the well of degeneracy goes. I've now been in the VTubing sphere talking about this for 7 months now almost. I know how you guys roll. I know how degenerate you get. We know, okay? Just understand that a lot of these folks are having also their boyfriends or whatever, their husband, boyfriend, whatever, check that as well. So imagine you're sending it. You think you're sending it to one person and you're sending it to another person, right? Do you get those, Legal Mindset? I get some stuff, yes. Now, not that often anymore, but there was a point at which LawTube was really into wine moms. So there were all these wine moms sending thirst trap photos. It was kind of a meta, right? So these wine moms were sending everybody thirst trap photos, and they were just sending them to everybody and kind of flaunting their stuff. That was kind of brought on during the Ricada saga, which I'll cover separately. We're going to go into that separately. But have I received this? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I've gotten some pretty deranged stuff. I've also gotten death threats. I've gotten people threatening my family. I've gotten people threatening my person, people threatening to attack me, people threatening to try to cancel me, whatever else. That stuff has happened as well. I don't really care anymore. I just don't look at that stuff. I ignore it because there's nothing they can really do to me. It's really pretty impotent. And if you're sending me some sort of sexually explicit material, I'm going to delete it. And if it's on social media, on like one social media, your ass is probably getting reported. Probably. 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. Mayhem says, what is a legality to accidentally doxing someone? Is malice required? I'm thinking of a friend does it by accident, not understanding what they're doing. No, I mean, that wouldn't be something they'd be going after because that's not a pattern of harassment. The intent is negated, right? An accidental dox is not what we're talking about here. We're talking about going out. Now, it is a dox in the sense of you're giving out information, but a lot of data breaches, which, your data, your emails, your passwords get out there on accidental data breaches, things that are not intended. They're bad updates, whatever else, right? So a lot of things just happen accidentally. I would even venture to say that most doxes are inadvertent because they are information you didn't know was out there, or metadata or links. I saw somebody today that got their Twitter account exposed because they used a share link, and the share link in the actual URL can be traced back to your profile. So they actually were traced back to their profile by sharing a link from Twitter. So that sort of stuff is unintentional, right? But the stuff that, for example, what's happening to Chibi reviews, which happened to other VTubers over the years with doxes or attempted doxes, that's malicious. These people are trying to cause these people harm. That is indeed criminal, right? And that changes the analysis if somebody has criminal intent. Yeah, a really good source is, have I been pwned? Have I been pwned? Which is a way to know if your information was included in a data breach. You should be, but routinely, you should be changing your passwords. You should be changing your passwords. Invader Tox says the well of degeneracy will never, ever, ever dry up.
Oh yeah, that's what I like to see. Oh yeah.
I know. It's deep. All right. So it started this way, but here's where it really escalated when Shondo got involved. So our girl, Fallen Shadow here, under account Sean, Good Girl Shadow, posted after this translation. A lot of indie VTuber Oshis have boyfriends. Their boyfriends are reading your love confessions. Indies do not have managers unless they are actually corporate and thus not indie at all. This pissed a lot of people off. A lot of people really got angry with this. Now, we're going to go over this. I have a PowerPoint presentation. Oh, yeah, a famous legal mindset PowerPoint. You know it's going to be a good day when your boy has a PowerPoint. She didn't say anything false here. Now, is there information she could expand upon? Yes. Rima's post, which I'll read later, is very comprehensive, and she goes over a lot of stuff, right? Rima had a much more comprehensive post. But as a quick take, nothing about this is wrong, right? A lot of indie VTubers have boyfriends, whether you like it or not. I know it hurts people, and I know they're sitting there crying. They're sitting there.
No. Wait.
Because their Oshi has a boyfriend, but they're not. Let me just put it this way. They're not nuns, okay? They're not nuns. And yes, they're cucking chat. I get it. They're cucking chat. It happens, guys. It happens. So a lot of people got mad about the boyfriend part. This is true. And then this statement pissed people off. Indies do not have managers unless they're actually corporate, and that's not indie at all. And a lot of people get mad. Now, I think one of the big misunderstandings, and we're going to talk about this, is the definition of corporate. People really think corporate means Niji Sanji. They think corporate means somebody that's part of some big group. That's not what corporate necessarily means. If you're working together with others for a common cause in a joint business entity where you have shared profit, etc., you're a corporation. A partnership is a form of corporation. A limited liability company is a form of corporation, right? If you're working in a collaborative manner with people and there's compensation involved, especially if there's a hierarchy involved, yeah, you're a corporation, whether you like it or not. Right now, if you're an indie and you have contractors or assistants, or you do, projects or gigs to get your stuff done, that's not it. If you have an editor, that's not corporate. That's different. That's fine. We're going to talk about that. But use of this word manager, I think, is a big problem because I think a lot of people are overusing it. And I think a lot of people in the VTuber sphere, because they want to reference both idol culture as well as they want to reference like HoloLive, and they're like, I want to be A-chan, right? I want to be that person. They use this word because they want to be something, or they want to be like something, but they don't understand that word actually has meaning, and it's a dangerous word legally. And frankly, I think people shouldn't be using that word. I think that word is actually legally dangerous, and I think that indie VTubers should not be using it because I think they actually risk damaging themselves and putting themselves in liability for using the term manager to refer to somebody because of what that implies. And in the law, if you give somebody implied authority, they can do a lot of things, right? If you say, oh no, this is my manager, and somebody is a non-VTuber, they're not in this culture, they're just a business that is doing business with you. Maybe they're a brand, right? They don't know that you don't mean they're not your real manager and they don't have real managerial authority. They think, oh yeah, they're a manager. Okay, they're in charge of you, right? It's implied authority. And legally, at least in the United States, that is more than enough to form contracts. It's more than enough to accrue debt, right? Imagine if your manager is taking out debt in your name. This is something that is possible if you go down this path recklessly. So that's why I want people to be careful, and that's why I say fire your manager and maybe you rehire them as something else. We'll get into that though. Let's talk about this controversy a little bit more because it kind of escalated, and I will get through the drama and then I'm going to get into the facts a little bit here because I see how the drama gets away with this, and you know the drama is sexy and all. And by the way, this post is from Delty here, who posted at point blank, what the fuck. So here's what happened. Shondo posted this, and then Moai Chama responded, I have a manager and I'm indie, lol. And Shan responds, no offense intended here at all, but can you explain why? And once again, this is based, but not inaccurate. Can you explain how and why a streamer with 460 followers has a manager? Like, how did you acquire this individual? What did you pay them? What did they do? These are great questions. And we're going to talk about these questions, right? Because these are really fucking relevant questions. And you know what? You do need to ask these questions, right? And then Moiwa-chan here says, they're a good buddy of mine. I met here while streaming, and actually he knows a little bit more about streaming than me, so he volunteered to be my manager. He's very helpful to me considering I am wholly technologically illiterate. And then Shondo comes in here at fucking point blank range with goddamn phasers and singes this. He's in love with you. Good luck out there.
Not as in, I cannot absolve you. Mega based.
A lot of people got salty about that. It's probably true though, especially when you looked at the response here. So here's the response here from this guy who was forced to kind of like double down. Adrian Baskerville, forced to no longer manage for free, going to unionize and charge 2 cents an hour. Wish me luck, boys. After being called the fuck out, right? After being called the fuck out at point blank range by Shondo. Oh, great stuff. Now, that said, is it bad that somebody that is your friend or maybe even your fiance or your boyfriend or your husband or whatever, is it bad for them to help you? No. And look what, for example, this is one from Harley here, who actually is a good viewer. And, you know, we had a good conversation here, a very civil conversation, right? Here we go. She says, while my fiance helps, I'd say he's a micromanager. He's only a stream mod because I've had trolls try to bother me, and I can't give them the least bit of attention, even if I try not while banning him. In a way, he is a manager, I guess, kind of. And I just come in here and I'm like, sorry, I'm not trying to be an asshole, but I'm also got to be that asshole, right? That's not a manager. He's a mod. And maybe he does some other tasks, right? And she accepted it. She was good with it. You know, we're cool though. But a mod is not a manager. And calling your mod your manager, sorry, I really appreciate Danielle and everything she does, but never have I ever called her my manager, right? Like, and it's very dangerous to do that. That's dangerous to refer to someone as your manager. Sometimes you might say showrunner. Now that might be more specific because if there's somebody who's doing the technical stuff, that's a showrunner. That's a position that's more like an assistant. That's fine, right? Showrunner's fine, right? But manager implies a lot of other stuff. Oh, also, Scholas, for the record, I'm like, oh, nice. Well, good to see you. Thank you for commenting in the chat. Appreciate that. I didn't know that was you. So thank you. And I'm glad we had a civil conversation there. Once again, not every conversation on Twitter has to be aggressive, right? And I hope that sometimes these things can be educational and people can learn from them and grow, right? So let me here. There's some more comments, but before we get into any of that, I think let's go to the PowerPoint. But before I hit the PowerPoint, we're going to hit some of these super chats. But we got the PowerPoint coming up here. In fact, I'll put it on full screen view over here so I get you guys kind of hyped up. So we have some hype for let's get some hype for the management PowerPoint. Let's get some hype. We got PowerPoint hype. Let's get it. We're doing this, guys. We're doing this live. Who else gives you fresh PowerPoints like this? 6 says, man, Shondo got the shotgun. Wendy5 says, learned so much from you. Thank you. No, thank you guys so much for really helping me grow this channel and also helping me learn that you guys want educational material and entertaining stuff. I try to combine both, right? So you guys learn stuff at the same time while you are being hopefully a little bit entertained. So thank you very much for that. I do venture to try to make some parts of my streams educational every single time. Lumi, what's up, Lumi? For 10 says, my manager is more so an assistant, but manager sounds more manly. See, this is the problem. This is the problem. Lumi, you're the problem. You're the problem, Lumi. Okay. Why you gotta demean the assistant? What is wrong with being an assistant? I'm going to talk about this. I got a full slide on this, but some assistants are paid 6 figures. There's nothing wrong with being an assistant. Right? I know people here in Thailand that work remotely as personal assistants, as virtual assistants. They make 6 figures. They have their own business. They make 6 figures. They have multiple clients. They manage social media, or they manage people's brands. They do HR stuff. They do a lot of random tasks. They make a ton of money. There's nothing wrong with being an assistant. I'm sorry, there really isn't. Right? If you want to call them a consultant, you want to call them a something else, right? But I just think manager, I know it's the idol culture. I know, I get it, but I just think it is dangerous. And I think it does imply, especially for non-VTubers, some level of responsibility that they really don't have. They don't. No contracts have ever been signed, but he's already helped me with my channel, helped me get up my first 10K. And I'm not saying, once again, they can't help, but why do you have to call them a manager? Why don't you just fire them as a manager and hire them as an assistant or a consultant or whatever else? There's nothing wrong with being a consultant. It's fine. I'm a consultant. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, I prefer being a consultant over being a lawyer because there's a lot more freedom than as a consultant than in a law firm, right? I'm not offended by that at all. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. And once again, that doesn't take away from what they've done. That doesn't take away from what they've done at all. It still is good for them to help you. But maybe they're just doing editing. Maybe they're an editor, right? Maybe they're a showrunner, right? Warranty Void says, regarding the password thing, get a proper password manager. Chrome and browser doesn't count. Use long-generated unique passwords for every account. Enable MFA wherever possible. Thank you. Anthony says, I hope our favorite Foxu finds her himbo. It would fix one of her many problems. I saw that Kersha put out a tweet. She's like, he's like, no longer has a manager, willing to be in a manager polycule, which I think is a subtle reference to Nick and some other people, Destiny out there. But yeah, no, funny stuff. Cynical Outlook says most managers are assistants, not managers. Exactly. And that's a huge point in my presentation tonight, is especially in the VTubing sphere. I don't think that 90% of managers are not managers, they're assistants. If you really think about what they're doing, they're assisting you. They are not a manager by the basic definition of the word. It's being misused. What would legal know? Wait, we know that legal would never, ever NTR us.
You don't deserve me. You don't deserve me. You wouldn't be able to handle me. I'm too powerful for you. My GFE is too strong for you, chat.
And then the chat is cucked. Deminarch says, if someone implies someone is a manager, they give that person a lot of power legally. Yes, they do. In the US, at least. I'll be clear on that. Azrael says, assistants and secretaries have a lot of power. Just look at who became the leader of the Soviet Union. Yes, and I'll be honest, in my law firm, when I worked in a traditional law firm, you know who was the most powerful people in that law firm? It wasn't the lawyers. The most powerful people were the paralegals. But nobody wants to be a paralegal anymore because they think it's not a good title. But in many cases, the paralegals with less school and no debt, no student loans, were making more than the lawyers. Let me say that one more time. At my law firm, most of the paralegals were making more than the lawyers because they were more useful. And at a certain point, it comes out of utility. They can't get something done without those folks. They know how to get stuff done. That's important. There's nothing wrong with that at all whatsoever. And I think we've gotten into this thing where everybody's got to be a boss, everybody's got to be a manager. No, we need people to do those jobs, and there's nothing wrong with them. We need to stop demeaning people for doing that. Those are meaningful jobs that mean a lot, and that doesn't make you a lesser person because you're an assistant or a secretary or a helper or a paralegal or whatever you are, right? That doesn't make you less. That doesn't value your work less. Your work is important. It might be more important. Marsupial Gamer said, I sent a super chat. I'm the manager now. I need to get I'm the captain now. P.S. If I ever sent feet pics, I don't apologize. I did nothing wrong. Marsupial Gamer. Okay, first of all, we've met. But second of all, don't send me feet pics. I will ban you, motherfucker. Lydia says, are indies really indie if they're part of Mythic, though? I don't want to look. So, Alina, I want to be very careful. I'm not calling out specific agencies. This isn't I'm going through, and actually there was one manager that I took their list of services and I tried to anonymize it a little bit. I'm not trying to get any flack on people. I'm not trying to get people out there flaming people or whatever else or creating hate, right? But I am trying to say you need to objectively assess what is valuable to you and what you can afford as a content creator. Because if you burn yourself out, that's not great. Now, Mythic is a corporation. If you join Mythic, you're part of a corporation, whether you like that or not, even if your contract is very, very loose, right? So once again, yeah, talent management, but they're a corporation. They're helping you with what, right? Oh, they talent management. What is that? What is that? If you go look them up, are they a licensed corporation, right? Yes, they're a corporation. They're a business entity. They are a legal entity. By the definition of corporation, they're a corporation, whether we like it or not, right? So once again, a corporation can be a lot of things. I know people think HoloLive and Niji, HoloLive and Niji, HoloLive and Niji. That's a very limited, very VTuber-centric point, and I think it hurts people in the VTuber sphere to get this VTuber-centric view of the world. So much business terminology is vague and confusing. I know, but it's important to know that because here's the thing. If you're dealing with business deals outside of the VTuber context or outside the VTuber sphere, which hopefully you are, as you grow, hopefully you're promoting products that aren't just VTuber products. There might be something you like. Maybe there's some sort of food you like or tea or coffee, right? You know, these people may not necessarily know the VTubing sphere and know the lingo. And you got to be careful, at least in dealing with those people and how you call it. Look, if you want to call your boyfriend the manager in the bedroom, listen, you know, you want, if instead of Opa or whatever else, you want to call him manager. Oh, manager Sama, listen, you know.
Not a sin. I cannot absolve you. Mega based.
That's fine. That's fine. Lenmar says, forget about managers. I say this, forget about managers, lawyers, etc. Just hire a professional fixer. They will make all your problems disappear permanently. I like it. I love it. Chaos Smash says, so Danielle's less a manager, more of your pimp. I would prefer you calling her my pimp over my manager, right? If you want to call Danielle my pimp, that's fine, right? That is fine. My madam, I guess that's the female version, right? I'd rather somebody be my pimp than my manager. I guess I'm a manager for this Supa. Where's my pay? Here's your pay.
Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you!
Seeker says, where's your legal advice on managing D's nuts? Holy shit. Wolfram says, assistant works with you to make a life easier, and a manager does the same, but you have to answer to a manager in case you mess up. Yes, we're going to get into the definition, but that's part of it, is that they have control. Control. And the element of control is what separates a manager from an assistant. 6 for 10 says, you know, I never thought about it, but yes, managers are required to perform at a certain level, but for VTubers, they are the boss. Hence, assistant is the only term that would apply. That's the real term. Patrick said, glad to see you're here after dropping the yesterday when reading that quote. Hey, my channel's not gone. Guys, we got 1,000 people in the chat today after I had a little bit of a snafu reading some what I assume were rap lyrics in a Twitter post. So smash a like button if you enjoy rap lyrics in a Twitter post. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Oh, I got that one already. Erston said, would that be a similar effect from the title producer? That would imply that would explain difficulty with being hired as a game producer rather than a designer. Yes, producer does imply some sort of oversight, but I would actually say producer is less than manager. So the implication in a business context. But that said, yes, producer has some sort of implied level of control for sure. Simi Collector said, for comparison, nurse isn't a big title, but it is a joke to say hospital aren't run by nurses. Exactly. The nurses run the doctors. Many doctors, they just can't do anything without their nurses. Without a specific nurse that knows where things are. Come on. Come on. Alpha said, did Legal Mindset get a good nap? I hope so. Just got here. I got a great nap. In fact, I got today about 3 hours of sleep. So I'm doing great. That's better than yesterday. Chaos Smash says, for 2, a pimp named Danielle. I wish I had that. Man, I wish I had like pimp named Slickback on here. But I think I had that for a while and it got me in trouble. So let's just play this one.
Slippery little bastard! Making the mother of all omelets here, Jack. Can't fret over every egg.
That's Danielle with the chat when she's got to hit down the bands. That's Danielle with the chat. All right. Lone Wolf Ranger says, is anyone actually mad that a VTuber has a boyfriend? Lil Shondo did nothing wrong. Her husband. People are mad. They are mad. I mean, the unicorn thing is real. I mean, I know Rima, if she's still in the chat, she's talked about that before. The unicorn stuff is real. You know, the projection is real. There's people that get really deranged when they figure this information out, and they can get really aggressive. And I've seen the Carfax on a lot of this stuff. Yeah, unicorns are real in the VTubing space. Now let's get into the PowerPoint. Here we go. VTuber managers. What is a manager? This is the definition of a manager. Like, this is just the textbook definition of a manager, okay? So let's read, because I know a lot of VTubers have, and people in the VTubing sphere, they may have trouble with reading comprehension. So I know they didn't teach you this in school. So Uncle Mindset is going to give you your reading 101 here. The definition is a person responsible for controlling or administering all or part of a company or similar organization. Let's look at these words, controlling or administering. Is your VTuber manager controlling your channel? Are they controlling it? Are they in charge? Right? Is that something that's happening? Is that true? I think for many VTubers, it's not true. I think they're actually not in control. I don't think they're administering. Now, if they are, you have some separate concerns, and I'm going to get to that. That there's huge risks with a manager doing that. But if they're controlling or administering, that means they have power. They might have power to change your YouTube account, to change your Twitch account, to change where your pay is going, to delete content, to post content without your consent. Because they're your manager, right? So when you told them, oh yeah, you can run my Twitter, you're my manager, you gave them that power. Did you really want to give them that power? Really? Mitchie Lottie says, for those mentioning Doki and her manager, she's technically the CEO of her own corporation. Yes. And that's fine. And look, I get that that's the name they use, right? She might say, oh, that's the manager. But if she's the CEO, she's in charge. And he is not. So he's not the manager. He's underneath her. Maybe vice president might be better, or executive, whatever you want to call him. But, I think manager is a dangerous term. Zen Gunman says unicorns are real, terrible, and they ruin the fun for everyone involved, VTuber and viewer alike. Alpha O says Uncle Mindset, like the Spicy Numbers website. Why? I have brain rot. I love all the websites, all of them. A2B says 90% of VTuber managers are more like a supervisor. That's fine. And not even that. I think a lot of them are like consultants. I think a lot of them are just either an assistant or a consultant. We're going to get into some of the stuff they do. And there's some stuff, once again, it could be helpful. I have a couple example sites that are innocuous. And then I have one long list we're going to go over and kind of review whether this is stuff you need to do or not. But yeah, this is a certain level of control. By the way, Rima says I'm in the chat, but I think people are more upset about the insinuation every VTuber who has a manager is sleeping with them. Yeah, I get that they're mad about that, Rima, but it may be a fact. So let's go here. Are they actually a manager or an assistant? So there's nothing inherently wrong with being an assistant or a consultant. They're important and necessary roles in the corporate world, and top-level executives are often paid over 100,000 USD. There's nothing wrong with this. Let's normalize it. Let's get back to normal of being an assistant, being a consultant. It's all good. Hypnotic and Ratcher said, does Danielle backhand you for withholding work money? For withholding the rations that I give out to my mods. Yes. Yes. Don too. Don gets spankings. That's his payment. He's into that. All right. Do you know how to do the task independently and why not? This is a really big one. And I think this is a huge mistake a lot of people are making. A lot of VTubers and a lot of content creators. And I made this mistake. So full confession, right? Full confession, guys. I got something to confess to you guys.
Look, here's the thing. Fine.
Listen,
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
This is very true. Have you seen how often I scuff my stream? Have you guys seen this? I scuff on a routine basis. I'm usually like, usually late is due to scuff, like some level of scuff. So I'm a dummy. I'm an idiot. And a lot of stuff in the beginning, I'm going to be honest with you guys, when I first started my channel, I didn't want to do it because I'm stupid. And I'm like, I'm technically stupid. Even though I'm a millennial, I feel like a boomer. I really do sometimes. And I said, you know what? I don't know how to do this. I'm going to pay somebody to do this. But then they sell you the razzle dazzle. Oh, we're going to do the analytics. We'll do the thumbnails. We'll do the titles. We'll do everything for you. And they charge a large lump sum, a very large lump sum in some cases. We're going to look at that. We're going to look at some of the people out here charging what I think is ridiculous for running your social media. Now, and doing stuff you can do yourself. Now, when you don't know how much that stuff is worth, you're going to overpay for it because you have no idea how much it's worth. Every content creator should be able to make a thumbnail. If you cannot make a thumbnail, even in MS Paint, right? Then you need to go figure out how to do that. And you need to figure out how to upload your videos, how to create a title, how to just do basic YouTube settings or Twitch settings or whatever else. Basic stuff. You've got to make sure that you've done that. If you haven't done that, you're going to be in deep shit because you're going to get overcharged because you don't know how much that's worth. And being intimidated, this is the mean uncle here. Being intimidated, being scared is not an excuse. You need to get your shit together as a content creator. You will fail. If you are not willing to work hard enough to learn how to do some stuff yourself, at least at the very bare minimum, at least before you contract out, you should do it once yourself. If you can't even do it once yourself, you don't deserve to be a content creator. You don't deserve to be a VTuber if you can't do it to yourself. If you can't do it at least once by yourself, right? I've seen some scuffed thumbnails, but at least they're done. Yeah, done is better than perfect, okay? Done is better than perfect. And there's people out there that don't even use thumbnails and get tens of thousands of views for certain types of content. And I'm sorry. I know that people don't want to say this. I know it's this world of love and peace and hugs and rainbows and shit, but that's not my channel. My channel is objective reality. If you don't know how to do something and you're scared, you're going to fail. You're a failure. You're not going to succeed. I'm sorry. Period. Done. Right? Learn how to do it. It's not an excuse to be scared or intimidated. At least at a minimum, try to understand how something is done. That's not that hard to understand how it's done. I'm not saying master it, but understand how it's done. I know how I scuff my streams. I know how I scuff my streams. I still do it. Even if you don't plan to do it yourself, educating yourself on how to run your business is key to business success. Imagine if you're running a pizza joint and you don't know how to make the pizza, right? You don't know how to make the crust, the actual flour, the dough, right? You're just using everything out of the box. You're using microwave pizzas. And Rima says it here, but I can't handle deadlines. You're in the wrong line of work. But I can't be consistent. You're in the wrong line of work. But I need emotional support. You're in the wrong line of work. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm truly and genuinely sorry for you. You are in the wrong line of work. This is not something you should be doing if you can't handle content for content creators. If this is too stressful, if you need to figure out how to make a thumbnail, like this is not for you. You're never going to be big. You'll have, maybe you can get 50 subs, 500. Maybe you'll hit 1,000 if you get lucky or whatever else. Somebody retweets you. It's not for you. And it's better off you don't waste your time with it. Because if you go into something, you got to go hard. You cannot fuck around. Imagine if your doctor was like, you know what? I'm going to have Rima take the medical test for me. And then I'm going to become the doctor, right? Or I'm going to have Danielle take the LSAT. That's the legal entrance exam. Or the bar exam, right? Imagine your lawyer had somebody else take the bar exam for them. Would you trust that person? Is that person a good lawyer or a doctor who somebody else did that for him because it was hard? No, right? No, you need to learn to, like someone said in the chat, learn to walk before you can run. Even if your first content is scuffed, it's okay. It's okay. The scuff is okay. We live for the scuff. The scuff makes it good. People, I mentioned taking the bar exam. I see people groaning, right? They'd never know. We look exactly the same. Yes. Yes. Rima Doctor arc. Yes, I want to see the Rima Doctor arc. I think that'd be good. Alpha says, isn't that a large generalization about the sleep relation? Maybe, but not at all. Think that's a bit of a black pill. No, it is a little bit of an overgeneralization, but there are certain types of people that do fall into that. I think more people are probably being taken advantage of by their managers, or at least mislabeling them. So either they're being overcharged on one hand, or they're mislabeling them. And they're really not a manager. They're just a helpful person. A helpful person is not a manager. Your buddy in the chat, look, if I called everybody who sent me reaction clips or just funny clips from my stream a manager, I would have hundreds of managers right now. They're not managers. Zen Gunman says Dizzy Dokuros from Face Connect is the one you should talk to about this if you can get her on. It might be worth the DM her. Yeah, I'll DM her. I don't know if I can. A lot of the phase I can't do directly on Twitter, so I'll see. But maybe I can manage that one. But I'd be happy to talk with her about it. Repton, member for 7, says male VTuber has a girlfriend. I sleep. Female VTuber has a boyfriend. Oh no! How dare she cheat on me, monkey? Yeah, absolutely. You find out she has a boyfriend, and you're like,
what the fuck?
Chaos Smash says Andrew's mega base like Shondo and Uncle Ruckus. You know what? I don't know about Uncle Ruckus, but
I'm not sorry, and I did nothing wrong.
Super Iron Bob says, if you don't know about something is done, how can you assume the work you're given, being given and its value? Exactly. You're overpaying for it, and you're probably being robbed. And once again, why do people quit VTubing? I hear it time and time again. I quit VTubing because I didn't have enough money, or I'm spending money on this. I see small VTubers that have literally, like on Twitter, they've got like 20 followers or 200 followers. And they're like, oh, this is getting too expensive for me. How is it expensive? You know who should be your only employee? Yourself. Here's your expenses. This. You shouldn't be, as a small VTuber who's got no viewers, paying anybody for anything. And if you're having a guy do it, well, that's a whole separate issue, right? Let's continue. Is this person romantically interested? Are you sure? Really? So this is where everybody gets mad. And here's where the issue comes up. So you get this little position where you start out and you've got all this stuff you want. You want clips, you want edits, you want art. So somebody who maybe they're a super fan and they say, I want to do all this stuff for you. So in return, you feel like you need to reward them. You feel like you need to make them feel special, to validate them, because they've given you all this stuff for free. So in return, you say, oh yeah, you're like my manager. You're my manager now, manager Sama, right? That's dangerous as fuck. Because imagine this. Imagine if you made, and I just watched the Henry video the other day. Imagine if Pippa made Henry her manager, or said Henry was her manager. Do you know what a legal issue that would create? Imagine if she had said that. which she didn't, by the way, but I'm just giving an example, right? If you told somebody who just went off, oh, you're my manager. There's so many issues with that. Tons of issues there. Are you giving them a level of personal access that other people don't have? Do they actually have proven skills in that area? You know, we saw that chat from earlier that Shonda responded to, where she's like, oh, the guy is a little bit more technically savvy than I am. Well, why don't you just hire somebody who's really good? Or why don't you work with somebody who's really good, not somebody just a little bit, right? And also, are they constantly trying to be alone with you or discuss non-stream related topics? Are they asking you what color your underwear is? Are they asking you what you're eating? Are they asking you where you're going? Are they trying to find IRL information? If any of this is true, they're probably interested in you. And I know that people are in denial about their beta orbiters, but like, and that's a thing, you know, it's kind of a superpower is, oh no, they're just my friend, or oh, this and that. That is the story behind the White Knight Chronicle, right? It's international edition, right? Story behind the White Knight Chronicle. They're just a friend. Just a friend. Just a helpful guy. It can get really weird. It can be absolute denial. So if that category applies to you, it gets bad. And they can become stalkers. Because remember, if this person is getting access to your information, they have access to your, for example, to your YouTube or your payment or maybe your Google AdSense or whatever else. They've got your address, they've got your name. That can get fucking creepy real quick. Now, Rima asked a good question. Are we talking about paid or non-paid? Well, I assume that the romantic stuff, so let me go back here. So for romantic stuff, Rima, specifically for this, because my presentation is talking about both paid and unpaid. This is talking about all types. But this type of person is going to be unpaid because their payment is in, well, they want Poo Nanny, right? They want 2D Poo Nanny, right? This is definitely going to be non-paid if you're romantic, or it's going to be a really nominal fee, right? So if you're living the White Knight Chronicle, that is definitely unpaid. But we're also talking today about paid as well. White Knight Chronicles, great game. There you go. Yeah, no, it looks like a good game. I haven't played it, but you know, looks all right. Yinka says, "Can I use Tart Wrangler as a title?" I mean, if you want. Kavani Hakurai says, one VTuber got mad at me and declared indie does not mean independent. Indie is different for VTubers. Managers do different things for them. I know that people want to say a lot of things, what they want to say. If you have a true manager in the definition, the legal definition is controlling or administering. If you have somebody controlling you, you are not independent by the definition of the word. Let me say that one more time. If you have somebody controlling you, you are not independent, period. I don't care about your fifis. I don't care how that hurts you. I don't care how that loses your indie street cred because you're proud indie. You're in some form of corporation, even if it's just a partnership. Right? And I know that people think indie means it's not HoloLive or Cover or Phase. Right? I get that people think that's the VTuber context, but that's not the legal side of it, right? All right. Is your manager actually good objectively? Now, we're going to go over some websites and stuff like that. I don't know how good any of these managers are, so I don't want to speak to any of their skill levels. But to be honest with you, and this is going to be really fucking savage, so guys, please like this video because I'm about to drop some like really like brutal savagery at point blank range, which is going to like knock people out. Oh, real quick, before I do that, before I drop the savagery, let me cover this on locals. There's a little comment over here that was about the last topic. Thank you over there. Repton for 3 says, the thirsty managers can get paid via Modly bread scraps so they can fight in their eternal cuck dungeon. That is very, very, very true. The mods fighting in the cuck dungeon perpetually. Thank you for that, Repton. It's a very good image. It's a very good image. All right. So let's say this real quick. I'm gonna This is going to be probably the most base thing I'm going to say. It's going to give me the most trouble. Even the paid managers, most of them suck. That's right. I'm going to say it one more time. Most paid managers suck. Why do they suck? How big are the channels they're helping? Are they making money? Are they profitable? Are they breaking even? Are they making consistent gains? Are they seeing consistent growth? Most of them are not, because once again, there's a lot of people that just they sit like a turd in a pond and just float in stagnant boringness forever. They've sit at 500 subs, 250 subs, 750. If you're paying out $1,000, $400, $500 to somebody a month to sit and see no progress, growth, whatever, what are they doing? They're ripping you off. They're not actually good. They're not actually worth the money you're paying for them. They suck. They're not good. They're not that good. And all these people who say, oh yeah, we're going to help you with analytics, et cetera, do they have connections at YouTube and Twitch? If they do, why are they dealing with you? Why aren't they dealing with a bigger client? Right? If they have such skills, why don't they have a huge agency? Why aren't they a corporation? Right? If they have such connections. Ask yourselves these questions. If they're selling you something for $25, the quality is probably commiserate with that. Right? And there's nothing wrong with buying something for $25 or $10. And we're going to go over some stuff with actually, there's some contractors that I think is contract work that I think is worth the money, right? Because it's more like a task. But if you're paying out hundreds of dollars just to get nothing and no results, sorry, no, your manager sucks. And to be honest, I'm telling you, like with working with people versus without, with analytics people versus without, I gained more learning analytics and doing my own stuff than I ever did with people telling me what the analytics meant. In fact, one of my eye-opening moments for me was when there was a guy who I was consulting with, and he was looking at one of my videos, and he's like, this is what he said to me. I swear to God. He's like, how did your video blow up like that? I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. This is the guy who's supposed to be the analytics guy, right? And he's like, how did that video? Why is it so popular? This is him asking me. And I was like, you're fired, right? He was fired that same month, fired. Because it's like, you should be telling me why. That you literally, you have one job. I mean, you had more than one job. But everything else could be, but it's like, why am I even having you look at analytics? You're fired. You're fired. Sorry. Like, no patience for that. He told on himself. Told on himself that he didn't know what he was talking about. Sigrun says, what if your manager is just yourself, except you're wearing a tie and glasses? That is approved. I like that, actually. I like that. Goodness, your corporate upbringing is showing here. Yeah, well, you know what? I've worked at some very successful corporations that make a shit ton of money. And what's your point? So here's the point, Grey Rook. Don't mean to get your name wrong. Is your point to be successful, or is your point to suck? Because if you want to just do it as a hobby, and you want to just do it for fun, and you want to never get subscribers, and you just want to, you want to pay people out of the goodness of your heart because you want to subsidize somebody managing you and you want to give them money, that's fine. You can waste your money doing whatever you want to waste your money on. But if you want to be successful, if you want to run it like a business, which I think most people do, that's the dream of most people, to content create as a business, as whatever else, right? They're going to they're absolutely going to want to make money, right? And once again, we're going to get to this. This is getting back. A corporate upbringing shouldn't be necessarily a bad thing. This is my next slide. This may be my next slide. Let's look over here. I don't know. It's not the next slide. But one of my slides is about exactly this attitude that was in that super chat, which isn't, once again, it's a normal attitude nowadays. It's become normalized. But people just hate this word corporate. They think it's evil and it's bad. Guess what? If you have your own business, you have your own LLC, you're a corporation. You're a corporation of one. There's nothing wrong with that at all whatsoever. Small businesses are businesses too. And guess what? I've represented more small businesses in total, in quantity, than I have big businesses. And I prefer small businesses, actually. I prefer working with small businesses. So here you go. Are they good? Who is the biggest creator they support? Do they support people like Iron Mouse? Do they support the HoloLives of the world? Do they support the big corporations? Have they had projects that are really amazing? Have they been featured places? Who have they worked with? How do you know the services are worth what you're paying? Have you done it before? Do you know you're paying the right price? If someone is charging you $50 for thumbnails, I swear there are people out there that will try to charge you $100 a thumbnail, $50 a thumbnail, right? And maybe, hold on, maybe if it's an amazing thumbnail that's guaranteed to get you, but by the way, thumbnails don't get you everything, right? But if it's a banger thumbnail and you're with it's a really good artist, maybe it might be worth that. But how do you know it's worth that, right? Have you looked at other prices? And I think a lot of people can get into in the beginning where you make a business arrangement with somebody. So you find these managers and you sign up with them and you feel like you're loyal to them. So you don't look anywhere else and you don't realize you're getting ripped off because you never look anywhere else. And if anything today, I should say, guys, shop around. Your manager should not be afraid of you price checking them, bidding them out like big companies do, like corporations, governments do. Bid them out. See what else the services are made for. I'll make you a thumbnail for 10, hire me. I can do a thumbnail myself for free, or I can get a thumbnail done by a Filipino, right? Shout out to my Philippine brothers and sisters, right? For $2-3, right? But I can do it myself, and I'd rather do it myself, right? BLM, base legal manager. Thank you. Yeah. And once again, that's an assistant. A person making thumbnails is an assistant. So Jim Blade says, I have a very skilled 3-man team. Me, myself, and I. Exactly. It's my team. I've got some people, but I mean, for me, like, for example, let me use me, right? Shout out to Eagle. Eagle's my clipper, right? Eagle does my clips, right? Shout out to Eagle. Eagle emojis in the chat. And I love Eagle. Eagle's great. Eagle's not my manager. I love Eagle. He's my boy, but he's not my manager, right? An editor, and a lot of people were bringing this up too. They're like, well, but my manager does editing. They're an editor. That's fine. They're an editor. That's cool. Editors are important. You need an editor. If you're big enough, you do need clippers and editors and people like that, right? So shout out to Eagle, man. He's a good guy. Love him. He's an important person. He's valuable, but he's not my manager, not my manager. Leprechaun Gold for 10. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Thank you. Very, very good. Let's ring him up.
Hello, Peso Department.
Thank you, Leprechaun Gold. 6, the Amalite, says it's like shopping for insurance in the US. You change insurance provider every now and then. Exactly. And you know what? That's good. You should be actually price checking them to make sure you're getting a good deal. And when I bid out a service, or I give, for example, I do visas, right? I help people come to Asian countries, and I will, if they want to obtain a visa for certain countries, like if you want to get a visa for Japan, Korea, whatever else, Thailand, I give a price. And if someone goes somewhere else and has a cheaper price, that's cool. Right? It is what it is. And that's fine. That's part of capitalism, which I know people have an issue with, but that's what it is. It's a free market. Right? Okay, let's continue. What services do they provide, and can you do them yourself or hire a cheaper alternative? Right? This is what we got to. Beware snake oil, beware overpaying. You can probably do it for cheaper. Are they a security risk? Do they have access to your social media profiles? Can they have access to your real name, your address, your docs? Can they alter or change how you get paid by social media? Can they link it to your, just change the payment to go to their bank account? Are they getting paid and then paying you? There's some fucked up situations that can happen with managers if they're able to do that. Now, I know that on YouTube, for example, you can set people that are at kind of a channel manager or an editor, etc. You can set roles that have limited permissions, but you need to make sure you're doing that properly. If you don't know how to set permissions on YouTube, you're going to be screwed with that. So you need to figure out how to do that yourself before you even set a role on your channel, even if you hire somebody. Do they control the brand deal? So, for example, here's one huge gatekeeping issue. Imagine if they get you guys a very lucrative merch contract or some sort of advertising contract, but they get the money and they're paying you. That's a huge issue. Massive issue. Huge security risk. Are they a corporate VTuber in denial? This is what Shondo was getting at, and this is a very good point. Corporate VTubers, goes to what I was saying, gets a lot of pushback, mostly because of association with black companies and evil corporations. It's trendy to hate the word corporation, but corporation merely means a group of people working together for a common business venture. There is nothing wrong about that. Nothing wrong about being part of a corporation, period. And I know that some people have trouble reading, right? I know.
Do you even know what you're saying? Card man? I don't even understand. I'm fucking illiterate. Do I look like I know how to read? No. I don't know how to read.
Said many VTubers. But I love you guys. I love you guys. Listen, I'm just as scuffed. Listen, sometimes I'm worse than everybody else. I'm no better, right? But you got to understand the meaning of these words, right? And then this is content creators in general, by the way. There's dumb content creators out there in all streams. In fact, look at dumbasses like Johnny Somali. Look at dumbasses like Jack Doherty crashing his McLaren. It's in every single content creation. I'm focusing on VTubers today because I want to give a little bit more niche tailored advice here, like a little bit more niche to VTubers. But this does apply to other people too. I'm not saying this is a unique problem. However, I think the word manager in VTuber context is specifically overused. Are you making enough money to justify this? Here's the big one. I see people quitting for financial reasons, and they say it's the cost of running their channel. Fixed reoccurring costs, such as managerial costs, literally decrease your profitability. So if you are paying somebody, okay, if you are paying somebody, you're not reinvesting. If you're a VTuber and you are making more money, what can you do? Buy a better PC. You can buy a better camera, maybe. A better phone, better tracker. You can buy better equipment. Whatever else, accessories, microphones, right? You can do extra stuff. You can buy extra models, toggles, whatever you're going to do. You can put more money into your business because that's your business. You can reinvest in it. You can do cool stuff. You can have gifts. You can do promos. You can do whatever you're going to do. You can put more money into that you don't pay into somebody to tell you that you have a 98% male audience because you're a big titty hag streamer, right? I hate to break it to you, but I can tell you right now, your audience is going to be 98% male if you're doing, big titty hags, and it's going to be 98% female Fujo if you're doing ASMR. Boyfriend ASMR is going to get you. It's going to get you that 98% Fujo love, baby. Much love to the hags. Love the hags. Shout out. Rima's in the chat. What's up? Good to see the hags out there. But yeah. That you don't need, it doesn't take a genius to tell you those demographics. It also doesn't take you to a genius to tell you that if you speak English, your biggest audience is going to be in America, followed by Canada, UK, Australia, some of Europe, right? That doesn't take a analytic genius to tell you that. They're not profound for telling you that. Or by telling you the age ranges. This is what a lot of people are on right now. It's kind of my closing here. Is after I saw this post and after I saw this kind of going around, there were a lot of people on this medical grade copium over this. But facts are the facts. Shondo did nothing wrong here. The statement about managers are not wrong. I'm going to share Rima's comments. Those are not wrong. A lot of people are just coping because they're coming to a realization that, hey, maybe they're actually not a manager. And maybe I shouldn't call them a manager. Right. Let me read this post by Rima because this is a good one. And Rima's really had a really good take here. Somebody said, why am I doxing you when I show the copium? Here you go. This is Rima's post. I'm going to read this. This is really smart. Hot take. Most VTubers under a certain follower or revenue threshold shouldn't have managers. Agree. If you certainly don't understand the business, delegating can leave you vulnerable to poor decisions by others. I used to delegate a lot for various reasons. I wasn't confident in my skills and I was afraid to reach out and negotiate, and business talk made me uncomfortable. It cost me time, money, and ended in poor results. This is so true. And it's true for me too, by the way. I'm not trying to say I'm better than anybody and I didn't have to learn the hard way, guys. I learned the hard way too. I thought of myself as a creative and I figured I could just focus on that. I was wrong. And you know what? More people need to do that. Like, honestly, like, seriously, like, shout out for Rima. Like, this right here, Rima saying this is one.
Hello, Peso department.
More people admitting that they did something wrong and they learned, it needs to be celebrated. People need to get more fucking credit for being honest on social media and being honest and saying that they made a mistake. Like, seriously, I have so much respect for people that can say that they've learned and grown and they didn't just start out and come out perfect. Right? Super based horse girl here. For VTubers with few followers or no steady income, it's better to handle things yourself or until you grasp the business side. Once established, you'll know when it's time to seek help. At the end of the day, you're never better served than by yourself. Yes. I gained confidence. This is something we're afraid of failing, but you know what failing and then succeeding does? Confidence. Seeing my emails met with responses and my negotiations succeeding. This led to positive reinforcement through my own actions. That's exactly how you do it. In fact, that is indeed.
Not a sin. I cannot absolve you. Mega based.
Super based by literally building up. That's a fucking hero arc. That's a hero arc. That's a fucking anime hero arc. By doing your own action, by your own fist, you end up having confidence in building. That's how you do it. Horses in the chat. Horses in the chat. If you need help, consider an assistant. An assistant. Labeled correctly for tasks like scheduling and research. Assistants are more affordable and flexible anyways. Also, just consider gigs, other small stuff. Developing these skills is such a crucial part of a character and business development, and there's no shortcut for it. The first thing you should delegate is an editor. I agree. So Rima, 10 out of 10 stars on this. Perfect post. She fucking killed it on that one. I really, really enjoyed that post. That was a really good one. So shout out to her on that. Chaos says, last night's stream an example scuff. Exactly, but guess what? It was done. And guess what? It's fine. We survived. We're here today. We're not canceled, baby. Anthony says, thumbnails do have an art component to them. Like, I purposely overpaid my tattoo artist because I like his work. That's fine. I have a tattoo. I know it's maybe shocking to some people. Some people don't know that. I have a tattoo. I paid a shit ton of money for it because I wanted it to be really good, and I paid a good artist. I paid a ton of money for it. Both of my tattoos. Actually, I have two. I paid a ton of money for it because I wanted them to be good because they're permanent, right? So, yeah, that's fine. That's total. All right. Now we're going to look at what some of these people are doing. Now, let me be very clear about this, guys. Two of these pages I'm going to show here, but I don't want anybody coming and flaming anybody or attacking anybody. I'm not trying to call out anybody specifically. One of the pages I anonymized, but I tried to make more anonymous because it's more of a detailed list. But this one service, I couldn't really. I really got to show you guys. So just please be respectful. I don't want to hear from anybody on social media that you're attacking them, right? So please be careful on that. Chaos Smash says tramp stamp on both cheeks.
Disgusting.
Japanese Demon Lord of Bar Lucifer said Andrew's not canceled. Yay. You know it. They tried to get me after I dropped that rap lyric, but I'm still here. Yes. Let's look at what these people are charging for. Now, I'll start with what I think is fair. Okay. So here's this one management service listed in USD, right? And it's for some very specific stuff. Let's zoom in here. Right. So actually, let me zoom out a little bit. There you go. It's better. Okay. So this person, and once again, I went into Google and I picked a random agency, a random management website, right? Random. This is not at all targeted. So what do they offer here? Lore brainstorming. We brainstorm your lore together and I'll write a summary. Lore short story. I'll write a short story based on lore and your character. Lore poem, $10. I will have stanzas and can rhyme or not rhyme, or up to you. Lore prose poem, $15. Very descriptive and imaginary based. Lore package bundle, $80, includes brainstorming, short story, and poem. That's fine. Like, once again, this is totally fine. This is a contractor. This is not a manager, right? These services are fine. I don't, and once again, some people may think these are high prices. Some people may think they're low. I see you in the chat saying AI can do it for free. Well, usually you're paying for AI, but I know there's free AI as well. But once again, I don't think this is bad if you need somebody's help and they're good and they can contract it out, right? Maybe you guys think these prices are high, right? But this is not a manager. This is a contractor. You're contracting them to write a poem or a package or a story, whatever, right? That's fine. And you know what? You may get what you pay for. So maybe you ask for a $10 poem, you're going to get a $10 poem. And maybe that's worth it for you. Maybe you just want a $10 poem. It's, once again, nothing wrong with that. But where I see more dangerous stuff, this is a monthly cost list for social media management. Okay. So you have different packages here, and I've reviewed all of them. And even in the one here, it's stuff you can. We'll go to the most expensive one. This is I know you guys may not be able to see this as well. This is $400 a month, $250 and $100. So let's go into what they're doing for $400 a month on your social media. Okay. Let's read through $400 a month. Okay. Want everything and more for your social media? The ultimate tier includes everything in basic advanced, plus editing shorts for you, 3 a week, 12 a month, and uploading on TikTok. We'll also create a card or link tree for you. You can do this for free. You can edit shorts super easy on TikTok and YouTube if you want, also for free, and create different content creation plans and across other social media channels, primarily Twitter. If it suits your needs, we'll create a shared buffer account with a free tier, essentials tier, where I can share and post content on your behalf for time management. Here's some examples and long form videos. This is $400 on a month-to-month basis, right? So $400 for those services, right? And that includes stuff, for example, that includes, once again, there's stuff in the basic, right? Which is writing for your social media, brainstorming for your TikTok, Discord, etc. So running your social media, $400 a month. I think that's kind of expensive, to be honest, right? I think you can get it done for cheaper. But that said, and especially when you don't have a big channel, that's the whole point here, which I think a lot of people are missing, is this is for people like, you're hiring this person, presumptively this person being hired for somebody who doesn't have a lot of money in the first place. So, yeah, it's something that you've got to consider. Also, I've got a longer list here. So we're going to go through a really long list. So this is from a person that actually I saw them post. Once again, I'm not trying to call them out or flame them, but I saw them posting and they were getting really butthurt about this. And so I went to their management site and saw what they did. And I see that there's a lot of stuff on here that they're charging for that is probably pretty easy. So here is this long management list. Once again, I've tried to make it anonymous, but if you do a deep enough dive, you can figure out who this is. But once again, don't bother them. Don't harass them. I'm not trying to create drama. But this is a list of what a manager who runs a quote unquote management company for multiple talents says they're doing. Okay. So this is what you are paying them money to do. And now I know that these things can be a la carte, some of them, right? So you can negotiate, you can have some stuff that's included, not included. But let's talk about this. Debut management. Project management with a strong focus on debut-related projects and tasks, utilizing existing industry connections and service of a clientele's debut products. Okay, so if you hire somebody as a one-off to help with your VTuber debut, that might be worth it as a one-off, right? That might be worth it as a one-off. So, maybe if you need some help on as a one-time thing, okay. That's not a manager, though. That's a one-off contractor sort of relationship. It's just one-off. Writing services, lore creation. We just talked about lore creation. I think it's pretty easy, and I think you could get AI to do it. But okay, if you want to pay somebody for that, fine. YouTube scripts. Now we're getting ASMR scripts, ERP and NSFW scripts. Holy shit! If you want an NSFW script, just go look at Rima's last broadcast. There's some NSFW stuff in there. Audio role play scripts. So this is all just writing stuff. A lot of this AI can do, and a lot of this you can get for free. And you can just listen to people and model in a similar fashion. Right? This is like kind of one-off consulting stuff. Here we go. Talent management. Do you guys see it? Do you guys see it? Sorry, this is LibreOffice. But this formatting is actually copied from their website. Do you guys see what it is? Do you guys see the number one here? Do you guys see number one here? Emotional support. Oh yeah, ERP means erotic role play. For those that don't know, I see you guys in the chat. And look, once again, I assumed you guys know because you're.
Degenerates. You guys degenerates.
I automatically assume you knew ERP was erotic role play. Right. Emotional support, because streaming gives you
emotional damage.
It's really funny. Are they a licensed psychologist? Yeah, are they licensed in that? Are they trained in that? You know, I'm going to tell you something. If you want something like that, go to an expert. Go to somebody who is like a counselor who has experience. I'm not going to go to my I don't go to my clipper. Like, I love Eagle. Once again, I'm not trying to throw Eagle or Danielle, right? Whoever else, right? For advice on time management. That's the next one, or really counseling, right? Why don't you go to a counselor for that? Somebody who is a specialist in that specific thing. Very, once again, I get why they throw it in there, but still. Project management, time management. Okay, you can have an assistant help you with scheduling. You don't really need a manager for that. You can one-off that or temporary. Opportunity search, networking, industry connections. I highly doubt that this management company has industry connections that are sufficient enough to be significant, because they're an indie manager, not somebody who's in the one of the larger corporations. So I don't know what their industry connections are. Maybe that's to people that are modeling, maybe that's people rigging, maybe that's the case, right? But I don't know. I think when you think industry connections, it's misleading. It makes you think, okay, you're going to be like, a featured speaker now because you signed up with me. Well, no, not necessarily. PR. Well, a lot of people need PR, but there's actually specialists who just do PR. Business development, sales. I would hire a specific salesperson for that. Sponsorship and brand deal negotiations. Now, that's an important thing. And actually, that's one of the things that I actually think is useful, even for me. When I don't want to deal with negotiation and stuff like that, but I've done it before. I've negotiated. Most of the time, I tell people to fuck off because they don't want to agree to my terms, which is fine. And here's one I love. Contract review, not legal advice. I'm going to tell you right now. No. Wait. No. Just no. If you have to put not legal advice after contract review, you're not qualified to do contract review. That's actually, to be honest, that's unauthorized practice of law, most likely. Whoever put that up there, right? Because you have no capability to review the contract. You are incapable of reviewing the contract. As from the perspective of being able to give you comprehensive legal advice on that, right? Now, That said, does that mean you can't know stuff about it, get educated on contracts, learn something? And I hope I've taught you guys stuff so you can do stuff yourself. You can be very competent, but I would not go for a review of the contract to somebody who's a non-lawyer. That is very silly, right? Unless there's somebody who's been in that industry for a very, very, very long time and they know the standard forms, but even then they might not know some of the other laws and things going on. So that's a really dangerous, it's a dangerous way to look at that, right? Very careful with stuff like that. And that one gave me immediate red flag. Immediate red flag. Tanya Lalabi says, I was wondering about something. If I make a toy independently from an anime, can I sell it since it's Japanese, not American? I can't. Then why I can't? Because from an anime, it's their IP. You can't steal a Japanese IP and then sell it. That's like counterfeiting. And well, not counterfeiting, but essentially you're stealing their IP, right? Whether it's copyright, trademark, etc. Right? So yeah, you can't just go make toys of an anime that you like. Now, you may get away with it, right? People in China get away with making fakes all the time. I'm here in Southeast Asia. There's a shit ton of fakes here. Just because you get away with it doesn't make it legal. It's illegal. You're stealing somebody else's work and ideas, right? Here's my advice to your contract. Talk to a lawyer. I'll send you my bill. Yeah. And once again, it's not that expensive, right? I did one the other day for somebody and it was very inexpensive, right? For a contract review, right? It's not that difficult, but it's important to know and to have somebody who's a lawyer to actually go through and tell you what this means for real. Wolfram says confidence can seem like a nebulous term, so I describe confidence as having competence in something because trial and error you succeeded. Yes, confidence comes from competence. There's a saying, fake it till you make it, but true confidence is competence, is doing something, right? I'm confident streaming because I've done it a million times now. I'm confident talking about certain areas of law because I've talked about them a lot and I've studied them a lot. Japanese demon lord Abari Lucifer said, this sounds like stuff for folks who aren't creative enough to do it themselves and very inauthentic. Doing this will lead to failure. Yes, it will actually lead them down the road to failure. Tacos Burrito says, do any offer gamer word passes?
Oh, please! I'm sorry! I didn't mean it! Wait.
That's a layover from yesterday's stream. That's my apology echoing over from yesterday's stream. I did nothing wrong though. Okay. OPSEC and InfoSec. What are these guys like? Hackers over it? What are you doing? OPSEC? Okay, what do you what really are you offering here for data security? Like these people are putting themselves out here like as if they're experts in all these fields. It's suspect, right? Tech and OBS help. Now, maybe if there's, and I'll give them credit here. If they're VTubers, they know that OBS is something they need to learn. Maybe they're skilled in OBS. That might be something that's very, very true. Content marketing, Twitch management, content analysis, data analysis, competition analysis, brand and design reviews, subathon, event planning, and charity event planning. Okay, so maybe event planning, these could be projects that are one-offs, but all of this analysis you should learn to do yourself. You should learn to do all of this yourself. And it's not that hard. And if you want to pay somebody to a one-off to teach you how to analyze stuff, that's fine. But you don't need them to do that for you. Maybe you pay somebody once to teach you about analysis. You take a YouTube course, a Twitch course. And you can take them online, whatever. You find stuff. Yeah, someone says, just watch the Mr. Beast interview. Like, honestly, like watching people talking about analytics and stat and what matters, etc. Right? Don't run away from this stuff. Look at it. Same thing with YouTube. Content, data, brand. You should be analyzing all this stuff yourself. It's very easy to do. Here's some other stuff. Look at this. Hands-on management of YouTube Studio. Video upload, scheduling, channel description, metadata, SEO management. Well, when you get people behind the scenes with your studio, you got to be really worried about it docs, right? Very careful. You're not doxing yourself. You're giving them the right roles, everything else there. And they can't delete stuff, edit stuff in a way you don't want to. Very careful with giving over access. I'm very hesitant to give anybody access. Managing and setting up editing teams and reviewing drafts for quality assurance of content production pipeline. So QA, how big are you that you need QA? This is something where, like, honestly, unless you're a huge person, you don't need QA. Like, you're as a little like zero view VTuber or a low view VTuber, you don't need fucking QA. TikTok, Reels, Shorts, content analysis, data analysis, managing teams, and QA. Once again, stuff you can do yourself or stuff you don't need. Twitter, Reddit, etc. Content analysis, data analysis, caption drafts. Captions is something, okay, if you want to do captions, that might be worth it as a one-off, right? Data analysis, once again, do it yourself. Learn to do it yourself. Consultations, content analysis, data analysis, caption drafts, brand, networking, business development, production advice. I'm actually okay with all of this as a one-off consultation. I think as a one-off consultation, all of that is fine. But I think when it goes to management and somebody that's charging you a monthly fee for providing these services, I do think you have to be very careful. Very careful. Chaos Smash says, so overconfidence, incompetence? Wait, what? Tanya Lullaby says, is it possible to get IPS IP so I can sell the toys? Yes, you can get a license. Go talk to the anime. The people that own the anime or whoever it is, go talk to them. They might want you to create something for them. Say, I want to make this. Can I make this? They can give you a license. It's called permission. So I would definitely ask them for permission to do it. A lot of people, when we get in arguing about IP and copyright, you know what the easiest thing to do is? Ask permission. Because if you ask permission, they can say yes. They don't always say no. They sometimes will say yes. I know it's crazy. People saying yes. But sometimes you're like, hey, I want to make this really cool toy. And they're yes. They might say yes. Tatsumi says, this sounds like someone needs you would have for $7 an hour. I don't want to get too negative. Look, I feel like I was kind of harsh, but mind you, all of that was really, this wasn't targeted at the person. And I'd really tried to anonymize that. Although I know people can go on the internet and try to, cause beef and everything else. But what I'm trying to point out is things you should learn yourself and things that aren't as useful for you, especially as a low-end VTuber. And to be honest, a lot of these people are targeting people that are zero view or low view VTubers. And frankly, that's what I think can be predatory. So that's why I say, look, if you're in a situation where you're paying $400 a month for somebody to create a link tree for you, you need to fire your manager. If your manager is charging you for something you can go and do for free in 30 seconds, you need to fire your manager. I'm sorry. If they're a person that's doing important tasks for you, right? But they're not controlling, they're not your manager. Call them something else, right? That's it. That's all. That's me pissing people off. You get chat. Have I pissed off enough people today? Let's see in the chat. Have I pissed off enough people today? Yes or no? Yes or no? And real quick, oh yeah, there's one tweet I didn't read. And this is right here. This is from Zan. So I think this is a person that is in the industry who says, I'm seeing many people missing the point. Shondo said a lot of indie. That might not mean you. It's pretty evident that somebody managing multiple people is in the target of this tweet. Actually, it might be. Stop playing innocent. We all know that someone that is doing GFE while they have a boyfriend. Yeah, well, no, this is true. So people that pretend they're single while they're doing GFE and they have a boyfriend, we know that's true. We've seen this happen, right? But yeah, some people some managers are pretty, they're managing multiple people, but they need to be reassessed, is what I'm saying. Right? Nothing bad there. And then one against, that is actually bad on Zan. What I'm saying is like that, that's like a fair point. That's a fair point. And I think that people were being unnecessarily harsh on Shondo. I agree with Zan on that. So cool. Let's see. Did I get everything there? Yes, I did. I think I got everything there. All right. So I've got a clip for you guys, ladies and gentlemen. We're at 2 hours, but it's been really awesome. And let's play this clip here, which is "You Will Never Be a Real VTuber," which is appropriate for the mood today. This is appropriate for the mood.
You will never be a real VTuber. You have no model. You have no rigging. You have no talent. You are a freakish VTweeter, twisted by drugs and laziness into a crude mockery of Chuba perfection. All the likes and retweets you get are two-faced and half-hearted. Behind your back, your followers mock you. Your online friends laugh at your perpetual pre-debut status behind closed doors. Longtime VTuber fans are utterly repulsed by you. Thousands of years of evolution have allowed weebs to sniff out tourists and antis with incredible efficiency. Even VTubers who pass look generic and unappealing to a weeb. Your Twitter bio is a dead giveaway. And even if you manage to get drunk on stream and do something remotely funny, he'll turn tail and bolt the second he gets a peek at your anti-lolly tweets. You will never be happy. You wrench out a fake smile every single stream and tell yourself it's going to be okay. But deep inside, you can't help but feel the depression creeping up as the lack of social media engagement dwindles down to nothing but hatred for what you have become. Eventually, it'll be too much to bear, and you'll have an unused $9,000 model, unused $3,000 rig, an unwatched debut trailer, and no friends to cry to. Your parents will find you heartbroken, but relieved that they will no longer have to live with the unbearable shame and disappointment of excuse me?
Just absolutely wrecking
living with an always online Twitter freak. They'll take away your Wi-Fi privileges, make you get a job, make you sell your model to someone worth a damn. Your Twitter will decay and fade into obscurity, and all that will remain of your legacy is a Twitter history that is unmistakably retarded. This is your fate. This is what you chose. There is no turning back.
So based. I fucking love it. And the perfect punctuation to the stream. That clip is the perfect punctuation to the stream. Get these super chats here. Lark Marcus says, "Thank you for the info, Andrew. Hopefully this helps VTubers with the manager." I really am trying to help people here. I know I come off as super based because I am, and maybe I come off as like, once again, your harsh asshole lawyer uncle, but some people need to hear this shit because they really haven't, and they need to have somebody that's willing to give them the other side and not just, "Oh, it's okay. I'm here to help you, pay me money with XYZ, or give me control over XYZ, or give me attention because I'm a white knight or your beta orbiter or whatever else," right? Your number one simp, right? I mean, they need to hear this truth, and it's hard for them to understand that. And oftentimes the people that lash out about it are the people that really, there's the most suspect, right? Because if you're out there creating, let's say you're out there as a consultant and you do debuts, right? Or you make models, or you do whatever else in the industry, and you're good at it, you don't care about what I have to say. You probably agree with me, right? It's only the people that are insecure about their abilities and about what they're offering that actually push back. Those are the people that actually give the most. They have the most at stake, right? They have the most at stake. Japanese Demon Lord of Barloos says, "Sadly, I can't use AI. I'm way more creative than it is, and everything that comes out seems to be boring. Anyways, remember to try my game." I have. Chaos Smash 64 says, "I'm pissed because I'm still waiting for my order of historical item from Deutschland from you. I would not be shipping historical items from Deutschland. 99999." Alex Metz says, "Legal Mindset, my favorite pre-debut VTuber." Thank you. This is the longest pre-debut ever, but it's coming. It's coming. Powder Keg Greg says, "Solid show, Mindset coming hot with the truth." Listen, Nikki P said it here too. The stream is a bastion of baseness. That is the way I'm going to keep it on this stream. I'm not going to change it. They've tried to cancel me. They tried to get mad. They tried to get butthurt. I ain't going to stop, right? We're going to stay based on the Legal Mindset, and we're going to keep this thing going. We're going to keep this thing going and keep this train rolling. I hope you guys appreciate it. Once again, 1,000 people were in the chat, over 1,000 people in the chat today. Hit that like button, share this out. We're going to get some clips of this, obviously. If you missed the Twitch stuff, it's at the beginning of the stream. You can go back and rewind and get the Twitch stuff. That was at the very start of the stream. My Clipper Eagle will probably have that out in the next 24 hours. I will see you guys on the next stream, which will be at some point tomorrow. Until then, just wait till all the managers are going to be screaming and crying, and the freakish V-tweeters out there, you know the ones that are be crying and joining.
You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping and seething. The truth is scalding, and now you are molding and coping so hard.